How's it going, everybody? The offseason has officially begun. The Astros won the World Series last night, and the Yankees have some catching up to do if they want to overtake the Astros next season. I'm not even sure that that's possible, but we're going to give it a try with this video. I think that there's some changes that need to be made to the roster, but they do need to bring a lot of guys back. They also need to change their mentality a little bit. We've heard a lot of excuses this year. I want to see the attitude that got guys to the big leagues. Michael K likes to ask on his show, what do the fans want? What do the fans expect the Yankees to do? And to me, it's an easy question, but it's one that I haven't heard many of his callers articulate very well, so allow me to try. We want the Yankees front office to admit that their approach over the last 20 years has not produced the results that fans expect, and take visible steps to show that you're trying to mitigate this problem. Whether that involves replacing some of the analytics guys with fresher, younger minds, or by possibly changing the way you do scouting, whether that's pro scouting, minor league scouting. You need to put less of an emphasis on home runs and more on the total game of baseball. Also, there's too many issues with hustle on this team. We want there to be accountability, because if you're not going to win, you sure as hell better bust your ass losing. There's too many excuses on this team. If a guy hits a home run 10 rows deep into the left field seats, you don't need to pretend that it was a good pitch because the exit velocity was low. If one of your hitters drives the ball to the warning track, don't blame the wind or the roof. Take accountability. I don't want to see guys pimping home runs that hit the fence. I don't want to see guys jogging down the first baseline. And we don't want to see different lineups every day and guys playing out of position. So when you ask Michael K, what do we want? It's not just one thing. It's a conglomerate of different ingredients that make up a really good baseball organization. And right now the Yankees are just lacking in too many areas. I'm not going to sugarcoat you in this video and pretend like this is an MLB The Show game. I'm not going to go out and trade for Shohei Ohtani or sign all the big free agents. I'm going to tell you up front that I don't know if the Yankees are going to be able to catch the Astros next season. But what the Yankees should be focused on is trying to build a better organization, a team that's more well-rounded, and take advantage of the shift going away by bringing in more guys who can hit the ball all over the ballpark, by taking advantage of the bigger bases and the pitch clock, by stealing more bases. It's not going to be easy, and it's going to be a little bit blunt, but you guys asked for it. So this is my offseason blueprint for the Yankees, how I would change this organization if I were running things, which of course I'm not. So don't take anything too seriously, because this is just a YouTube video. All right, let's start with the players that the Yankees need to re-sign. Obviously, Aaron Judge is the number one priority. Without Aaron Judge, you're in a rebuild automatically. You're going to be an 86, 87, maybe an 88 or 89 win team if you don't have Aaron Judge. I think it's going to cost at least 9 years and $365 million. That is not cheap, and it's going to eat up a large portion of the Yankees' payroll. But he puts butts in the seats, and he hits a lot of home runs. And despite his tough postseason this year, he's had some good postseasons in the past. Also, he hit 311 with the shift, so next year he might very well hit 330. And with the power, he's dangerous. He makes everyone around him better when he's clicking. The Yankees need to re-sign Andrew Benintendi. He fits nicely in left field. The Yankees don't have a true left fielder. They don't have a true leadoff man. He is your leadoff man next year, at least against right-handed pitchers. He makes contact, sweet left-handed swing that can drive the ball out of the ballpark on occasion. Wouldn't surprise me if he hits 320 again next year, and if he hits for a little bit more pop playing his home games in Yankee Stadium. Also, I would like the Yankees to re-sign Anthony Rizzo. He has not officially opted out yet, and there is a chance that the Yankees could give him an extra year or so in order not to opt out. That's happened before. If he does opt out and he's asking for way too much, Josh Bell is a switch hitter who's improving offensively. He's not great on defense, but Rizzo took a big step backwards this year on defense as well. Hopefully some of the other moves that I have planned will allow the Yankees to improve their defense in the rest of the infield rather than relying on your first baseman to constantly bail out the shortstop on bad throws anyway. So I just want a first baseman who can catch the ball and not kill you over there. Hit for a little bit of power. Josh Bell is a switch hitter. Anthony Rizzo is my preference, but if he wants $28 million a year, I think that's too much. I would go with Josh Bell. As far as their other free agents, Zach Britton, Matt Carpenter, Miguel Castro, Aroldis Chapman, Marwin Gonzalez, Chad Green, and Jamison Tyone, I would let them all go. However, those would not be my only subtractions. I would trade Gleyber Torres. I would try and get at least a decent pitching prospect, maybe a decent outfield depth piece for him, both of which the Yankees could use in 2023. They lost a lot of their pitching depth when they traded for Frankie Montas, and they really haven't had a lot of outfield depth in recent years. I know a lot of you like Estevan Florial, and I get that he's had some limited at-bats in the big leagues, but I haven't seen much out of him to suggest that he's a major league caliber hitter at this time. So he would not be on my radar as your first go-to should somebody get injured. I think you've got to go with a rookie at shortstop. To me, that would be either Oswald Peraza or Anthony Volpe. I would have a competition in spring training. Don't be afraid to push these guys. With the loser going to AAA and learning how to play second base in AAA for a couple of months, DJ LeMahieu would take over at second base until that prospect is ready, and then he moves back into the utility role by mid-season, allowing him to be healthy for the playoffs, where you can plug him in at various spots depending on who's hitting and who's not, or pinch hit him in every single game in a key at bat. The Astros have just proven that you can win with a shortstop who is a rookie and who does not have a lot of minor league experience. You go back and look at his numbers, he hasn't played a lot in the minor leagues. The Yankees need to push their minor league prospects rather than continuing to attempt to be the service time champions. And if I were running things, I would just cut Aaron Hicks. I get the Yankees probably won't do this, but it's the right move to do. He can't play anymore. He can't hit, he can't field, and he can't throw like he used to. I just don't see a lot of value for him on this team. I would also try and unload Josh Donaldson. Now he's a little bit of a different case. He makes $25 million next year, so nobody's going to take that. However, if you can't release him and you can't get anybody to take that contract, maybe you can package a couple of mid-level prospects with him, eat some of the money, and end up paying only $12 million for a guy who doesn't play for you because you messed up last season. But Josh Donaldson needs to go. I know the Yankees have said at their recent press conferences they believe that he has a lot left in the tank offensively. I think that is the perfect example of them looking at the analytics wrong and putting too much stock in the metrics and the numbers rather than looking with their eyes. The guy's got a horrible approach at the plate. I get that he walks, but he doesn't walk in big spots. He strikes out in big spots. He is not a good player. He needs to go. And I would spend my remaining dollars on the pitching rotation. I would try and get Carlos Rodon. I think that he would be an excellent fit at Yankee Stadium, a good hard-throwing lefty who misses a lot of bats. Remember, the shift is going away, so strikeouts are going to play. He's a guy who gets whiffs. I like Rodon. He has worn down a couple of times, but maybe the Yankees can spread him out. They have some other guys who can step in as a sixth starter once in a while. Clark Schmidt. You got guys like Domingo Germán. I think Domingo Germán would play well out of the bullpen if you made him a full-time reliever. He's got nasty stuff. Just needs to learn how to harness it as a relief pitcher. I wouldn't be opposed to the Yankees signing Edwin Diaz, but I don't know if they're going to go that far. Maybe one of the guys that you get back in return for Gleyber Torres is a bullpen piece. We've seen bullpen pieces come from out of nowhere and have really good seasons before, so the Yankees might just need to rely on some of their savviness to go out and get somebody who's been undervalued. Scott Efros is out for the season, so that's another hole. Mike King coming back should help, but you've got to get enough depth that you can account for injuries. I think Clay Holmes was a pretty good closer when he was healthy, but when a guy starts to have shoulder issues, back issues, it can be a little bit concerning. I want somebody who's got pristine mechanics to be my closer and who's done it for a while. You need those type of guys in the playoffs. So my team looks like this. I'm sticking with Trevino behind the plate. I've got Rizzo at first base with Bell as the backup option if Rizzo decides not to sign with the Yankees. At second base, I'm going with the loser of the Volpe and Peraza shortstop sweepstakes. You're going to probably start DJ LeMahieu for the first couple of months until one of these guys is ready at second base. Just looking at body type, I think that Volpe probably would be a better second baseman or third baseman than shortstop, and I think that what Peraza showed down the stretch was that he was a fantastic shortstop. So I would personally go with Peraza at short, Volpe at second, Oswaldo Cabrera at third base, and then you got a couple of utility guys. IKF, I'm bringing him back because of his speed and ability to play multiple positions. And DJ LeMahieu obviously starting at second base until whomever is ready. And then he can slide back into a first base, third base combination and be a valuable pinch hitter at times. In left field, Andrew Benintendi, center field, Harrison Bader, and right field, Aaron Judge. I think that's a championship caliber outfield. My rotation would be Garrett Cole, number 1, Nestor Cortez, number 2. Number 3, I would go with Luis Severino. Number 4, Carlos Rodon. And number 5, for now, Frankie Montas or Domingo Germán. I would love to see the Yankees try and deal Montas, but you'd have to sell extremely low, which is why I would hang on to him. And the second he starts pitching well, ship his ass out of here. I'm putting an emphasis on youth, on contact, on speed, athleticism, and getting a little bit younger. I think one more starting pitcher gives you a really, really good top 4 in the rotation, especially if Nestor Cortez pitches the way he did this year once again, and I have no reason to doubt that he will. I think Garrett Cole showed us a lot in the playoffs. He won a couple of big games, obviously struggled against Houston. Don't know if he's ever going to be the top flight number 1 that he was when he signed, but hey, that's the breaks. And I would trust Brian Cashman with the bullpen. He's done a nice job trading for relievers over the years, whether it was Jonathan Loaizaga or Chad Green. I think Scott Efros was a nice move. Obviously, he's going to be out. But I trust Cashman to be able to identify a major league relief pitcher. That's something that he is pretty good at. Let me know your blueprint in the comments. And remember, this is just for entertainment, just having fun here. So don't take it too seriously. I'll see you next time.